FBW fans, I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. Enough of Axel F. Night to remember, the 1 year anniversary show was a great event from the Elks Lodge on Queens Boulevard. The show kicked off with the Prince of Queens, Brian Myers, about to do battle with premier athlete Tony Nese, and Brian took the microphone wondering why is the Greek god Papadon wrestling in the main event, and yet Brian's number one contender and he's in the opening matchup. Despite that, the match was on and Brian Myers picked up the win over Tony Nese. Up next, it was a three-way hardcore match where the Devil's Outlaw Stockade defeated Hipster Heartthrob, Casanova Valentine, and the indestructible Joey Tell in a wild and crazy match. And in the early going, Stockade nearly landed on me as he was knocked off the apron to the floor. Next, we were scheduled for a six-man tag team match pitting Val Venus and Milk Chocolate taking on Team Tremendous and Robbie E. Just as that match was ready to get underway, the Beaver Boys come through the door and they come through the crowd and jump over the rail and insert themselves into the match, claiming that they had, been overlooked, not been on the shows lately, considering the fact they've already defeated the Young Bucks and they hold a victory over Mega Muscle. And I forgot what else they ended up saying. But they did insert themselves into the match, and they ended up getting the win over both trios in the match. Next up, the Lariat DJ Hyde defeated 3 men in a handicap match, and I do apologize for not getting their names. And after the match, Hyde took the microphone and saying, "Is there nobody bad enough or got the guts to face me in FBW?" Out came Chainsaw Joe Gacy, and Gacy challenged Hyde to a match, and Hyde said he'd do it on his terms. They talked about barbed wire and ultra violent stuff, and also mentioned August 20th, which will be the next five borough wrestling show, unless they're taking them. They will have a show in July. I'm not sure about that yet. And Hyde ended up leaving the ring, and in a funny moment, Gacy literally picked up a young woman in the front row, and I don't know if that was Hyde's wife or somebody else, really, but that was quite a moment right there. Up next, the Amazing Red went one-on-one with Talon, and this was a very good match, and Red got the victory. During the matchup, Talon was attempting a low blow, and Talon decided against it. And then Talon offered a handshake, and they shook hands, and Red left the ring, and Talon took his God Hates Fans sign and broke it over his knee. So I guess he's turned over another leaf in FBW. Then it was time for the 8-man elimination match as Mega Muscle, Matt Striker, and Rude Boy Riley took on Flawless Blake Morris, Trevor Lee, the Rogue Anthony Gangon, and the American Nightmare Logan Black. Of course, this is where either Mike Verner or PJ Stackpole was going to have to leave FBW when this match was over. Well, the order of elimination, the Big O was disqualified when Ref Ozzy caught him with a chair, and our ring announcer for the evening, Anthony J. Chico, had a botchamania moment when he declared Stackpole's team the winners on a disqualification, and he had to be corrected about that. And even though Big O was eliminated, Stryker took the microphone and said, "We'll take them 3-on-4. Eventually, I forgot who did it, but at that point, Matt Stryker was pinned. Can't remember who pinned him, making it 4-on-2 in favor of Team Stackpole. But then it was comeback time as Rude Boy Riley pinned Trevor Lee. I forgot if it was Riley or Verna that ended up then pinning Anthony Gangon. Then, surprisingly, Verna got pinned. Then Riley ended up pinning Logan. And eventually, Blake Morris pinned Verna, enabling Team Stackpole to win the match. and it looked like, and it appeared Mike Verna was going to have to leave FBW. There was even a contract brought out, I guess a contract of resignation, where the team captain, whose team was defeated, would have to sign it and no longer be part of the FBW roster. Verna was ready to sign that contract, but Big O comes running out, takes the contract from Verna, pushes him out of the way, and Stackpole's yelling to O, hit him, hit him. And Big O looks at the contract, he looks at Stackpole, and he says, you know what? If anyone's going to leave FBW, it's going to be me. And Big O signed that contract of resignation and threw the contract in Stackpole's face. And Big O basically declared that he saw Verna grow from a fan to an inexperienced wrestler to winning championships in other promotions, and talked about not many people in life would take a bullet for others, and Big O basically has said he has done that for Mike Verna. At that point, it was intermission time. It should be pointed out, due to the ring arriving late, the fans were not let in until 7:48 p.m. I do applaud whoever made the decision for everybody to come in through the door on the side street, because in the past other companies would have the people enter through the back, go through the parking lot and enter the back door. Ugh. Then we're back to the action as Good Times Only. TJ Marconi defeated Smiley in a very competitive matchup. In a return bout from Die Trying, Caleb Conley defeated Andrew Everett. These two are kind of like, it seems like magic when they touch in that ring. Then in the battle of the Juicy Product, JT Dunn defeated the King of Taunts, David Starr, in a very good matchup. Then in women's action, Kimber Lee defeated third generation wrestler Tessa Blanchard. Then it was main event time as the Greek God Papa Don faced Samoa Joe in a non-title matchup. This was a very good match and ended when Papa Don basically scored a goal between Samoa Joe's legs, and as a result, Papa Don was disqualified. Eventually, the Prince of Queens, Brian Myers, hits the ring and spears Papa Don, and Samoa Joe eventually hits Papa Don with a muscle buster, ending the night. Okay, personal notes time. It was great sitting with crew members Brandon and Christian. Great seeing Thomas, Kevin, and Pete. Who else did I notice in the crowd? Fred. Jasmine, who brought her mother to the show. Dee Dee. Great seeing Jack Sabbath, who was selling some merchandise of his own, and probably trying to sell some ICW tickets for later this month. On a personal note, when it comes to the merchandising, I did not see any FBW DVDs on display. I was hoping to buy some because I've only got like one show, and that was Oktoberfest last year, which I ended up missing. Well, I guess, let me see here. Okay, well, I guess it's time for those memorable quotes. CM Punk Kid died? Brian Myers, when the fans were chanting "Rest in Peace" and Christian was displaying a CM Punk t-shirt, since Mike was unable to make the show due to being at the Yankees-Angels game. No more kids! No more kids! Christian and Brandon, when I think Casanova Valentine had a tray put in his groin area, and then Stockade took like an extra hook that would hook turnbuckles to ring posts and nailed him in that area. He's gonna blow you, and you're gonna love it. This guy sitting like 2 seats away from David Zubin, referring to Zubin and Stockade, I believe. Holy shit! A Bill Carr t-shirt! Bill Carr, when he noticed this very t-shirt, as he and Dan Barry were coming to the ring for their matchup. This ring sucks. This ring sucks. The crowd when one of the bottom turnbuckles broke off the ring post during the 8-man elimination match. Better than Divas. Christian and Brandon during the Tessa Blanchard Kimberly matchup. Is that a puppy love reference? Ring announcer Anthony J. Chico when I said, where's Paul Anka when you need him, when Christian referred to David Zubin as a loner. And it looks like five-borough karaoke was invented as people were singing Caleb Conley's theme, which happens to be Shania Twain's Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Here's a funny moment during the 8-man tag. Christian took my megaphone, and on his cell phone he was playing Taylor Swift's Shake It Off, which is, or was, Trevor Lee's entrance music, and people like turned around to hear where that was coming from, and a few people laughed. Here's another quote. I like your review of the Starlet Show. Brooke Danielle, who was doing photography at this event, and she did a little, mean queen waving right before my very eyes. Now, as mentioned, Five Borough Wrestling, they're going to have a show on Thursday. Mark that on the calendars, everybody. Thursday, August 20th. I don't know if it's going to be at the Elks Lodge on Queens Boulevard, American Legion in Brooklyn, or maybe elsewhere. However, on that very night, I have my match wish list. Chainsaw Joe Gacy versus DJ Hyde. Brian Myers challenged the Greek god Papa Don since he is number one contender. I'd like to see a... Flawless and Lawless make their first tag title defense against Team Tremendous. I'd like to see the Beaver Boys against Milk Chocolate. Rude Boy Riley one-on-one with Logan Black. Mike Verna. Don't know who we could put him against, or I can think of. I like this. I definitely think Stockade and Casanova Valentine would make a great tag team. Unless, or if not, maybe let them go one-on-one, since that hasn't happened yet. And Stockade has beaten Casanova and Joey Tell twice now in 2 3-way matches in a row. Forgot to mention, that was a rematch from Die Trying last month. Damn, who else do I remember? Oh, great seeing Ira. And who else can I think of at this very... here's another memorable quote. You, hey you, chuck, 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 chuck. Billy Baldwin, as Papa Don was climbing the top rope before he ended up missing on Samoa Joe. Well, one lady who was there with her fiance, I mean, it seems like she's got some serious issues. I mean, before the show, she was complaining that her fiance didn't like, said someone was being rude to him, and I forgot what else she said. And she said she went outside to calm down. I'm kind of glad she didn't end up sitting near me. It was, who knows what would have happened if she was sitting by us. Definitely a great show by Five Borough Wrestling, and I don't know if they're taking July off, but August 20th, hold on to your hats.